Look, there is Frater Perdurabo prancing across China on a cool-looking little horse. Actually, he was doing the Abramelin operation in his mind uh, while experiencing the tedium of travel during this occasion. And actually, his pony actually fell over a small cliff with him on it. And he said, said he didn't notice. That's how deeply concentrated he was on working internally his Abramelin operation. Or so the story goes. And there's a lot of stories associated with the Book of Lies, which is falsely called breaks, the wanderings or falsifications of the one thought of Frater Perdurabo, Aleister Crowley, which thought is itself untrue. And the original publication date on this in Objective Reality was probably 1913, although I believe due to a printer's error, it said 1912, which led many people to believe that there was the phenomena of a time warp for when the then head of the OTO visited Aleister Crowley in his flat in London and said, "You've published the supreme secret of our order." And Crowley didn't even know what he was talking about. And supposedly, according to Crowley's telling of the tale, Royce went to Crowley's library shelf and picked out the Book of Lies, and he pointed to the offending chapter, and he said, "There it is. You've printed our supreme secret in the plainest language." And Crowley didn't know what he was talking about, and he read it. And according to Crowley, it was chapter 36. He says chapter 36, the offending chapter. Now, Book of Lies is a wonderful, just a smorgasbord of rituals and little poems and like Zen koans and crazy sort of quasi-Masonic kind of things, but there are several full-blown rituals in the Book of Lies. Chapter 44, which is the Mass of the Phoenix, first appears there, and chapter 44, of course, is the number of the Hebrew letter for blood, and the Mass of the Phoenix has the magician drawing a small amount of blood from his own body. And chapter 25, which is 5 times 5, is a star ruby, which is a new thalamatized pentagram ritual. And there's chapter 36, which is 6 squared, which is a thalamatized hexagram ritual. And Crowley tells us, I believe it was in the Confessions, that it was chapter 36 that he pointed to. Now, there are many people that say, well, that's a pretty obscure thing for him to point to. And actually, it looks like chapter 69 is a better candidate for that. If I can just turn to that quickly. Let's see here. Chapter 69 is called see. Well, I can't find it in my book here because the pages are stuck are stuck together. But actually, no, don't get me wrong. But anyway, chapter 36 is a pretty good candidate for it too, and I think Crowley wanted us to explore that as a supreme, truly the supreme secret of creative magic of the cosmos. And people, smile and nudge with knowing winks. Oh, it's a sex magic thing. Oh, okay. And it is, as far as it goes. But it would be a sex magic secret at the very, very fundamental physical world of Asiya kind of level. But it holds true that, the old saying is, well, all of this is just a blind for the sex act or sex acts of some kind. But the sex act, of course, is a creative act, which in a sense makes each one of us creative beings in the same way that the creator or the forces of creation of the universe are creative beings too. So the idea that, well, this is all a blind for the sex act, yes, but what is the sex act the blind for? Okay, and that's big stuff, that's physics stuff, that's astrophysics stuff, that's quantum physics stuff. And but I'm digressing here. Let me just read to you the Star Sapphire first, and then I'll comment on it. And it's included in the book, old and new editions of Magic of Aleister Crowley, Handbook of the Rituals of Thelema. Now, and I'm going to get some light on the subject here. Let the adept be armed with his magic rood and provided with his mystic rose. In the center, let him give the LVX signs, or if he knows them, if he will, and dare do them, and can keep silent about them, those are the powers of the Sphinx, excuse me. The signs of NOX, he can do the NOX signs, being the signs of Puer, Vir, Puella, and Mulier. Omit the sign of Isis rising. 3. Let him advance to the east and make the holy hexagram. Advance to the east and make the holy hexagram. Now, in a normal hexagram ritual, the magician's standing up in a circle. He goes to the east and he makes the hexagram. That's a macrocosmic thing. Pentagram's a microcosmic thing, as if the earth was flat. Hexagram is a macrocosmic thing. The sun surrounded by the belt of the zodiac. So the landmarks of a macrocosmic ritual or the hexagram ritual are the cardinal signs of the zodiac. So that put Aries in the east and Capricorn in the south. Okay. But I digress. I got my digression hat on. Let him advance to the east and make the holy hexagram, saying, Pater et Mater, unus Deus ararita. I'll translate later. Let him go round to the south and make the holy hexagram and say, Mater et Filius unus Deus ararita. Let him go round to the west, make the holy hexagram, and say, Filius et Filia unus Deus ararita. Let him go round to the north and make the holy hexagram and say, Filia et Pater unus Deus ararita. Let him then return to the center, and so to the center of all, making the rosy cross. Now the rosy cross is a joining of the magic rood and the mystic rose. At the first, he was just provided with them, and now he joins them, making the rosy cross as he may know how, saying, Ararita, ararita, ararita. This is parenthetic. In this the signs shall be those of Set, triumphant, or of Baphomet. And also shall Set appear in the circle. Let him drink of the sacrament, and let him communicate the same. Then let him say, Omnia in duos, duos in unum, unus in nihil, hec nec quattro, nec omnia, omnia, nec duo, nec unus, nec nihil sunt. Gloria Patri et Matri et Filio et Filiae et Spiritui Sancto externo et Spiritu Sancto interno, ut erit est erit in secula seculorum sex uno per nomen septem in uno ararita. That's my flawless, just rolled off my tongue, didn't it? Then let him repeat the signs of LVX, but not the signs of NOX, for it is not he that shall arise in the sign of Isis rejoicing. Now, that's not what I would call easily to understand, straightforward hexagram ritual. You can spot elements of your normal ritual of the hexagram, or your traditional one. But all of this weird stuff is just that. And Crowley thought it was pretty damn magical, and he wanted us to at least point our meditations toward this fact that it is this creative magical act that uses at the very least the imagery and the metaphor of the sex act that utilizes the rood or the phallus and the rose or the yoni. There's many sex acts you can do all over the place, but this particular one uses that mystic rood and the magic rood and the mystic rose. Okay. Here's my author's comments on this. The magic rood is the wand of the magician, the lance of the priest, symbolic of the lingam. His mystic rose is the cup of the priestess, symbolic of the yoni. The LVX signs are to be used in the standard version of the Star Sapphire, but the ritual can also be executed employing the NOX signs if the magician is at that point of his or her initiatory career where it is appropriate or necessary, i.e. the master of the temple, 3 equals 8, or 8 equals 3, excuse me. Since this is less often the case, we're warned by the powers of the Sphinx, if he know them, if he will them, and dare do them, and keep silent about them. The sign of Isis rejoicing is omitted as it has no correspondent among the signs of LVX. And I refer to the figures that are thoughtfully supplied in this book. Okay. The holy hexagram of fire is in the east. Okay. Let him advance to the east and make the holy hexagram and say pater et mater unus Deus. Now, elsewhere Crowley identifies the location of or the allocation of fire, water, air, and earth to the cardinal signs in a hexagram ritual. So it's not beyond. It's not a leap of imagination to see it as that's where you put your fire hexagram in the east for Aries. Now, a fire hexagram now you can use a unicursal hexagram too, and please remember this is all Lon's speculation. I'm not setting up any sort of orthodoxy here. But that is a classic fire hexagram. Now you'd have to imagine that one of these triangles is red and the other one is blue. Okay, so you make the fire hexagram in the east and you say Father and Mother, one God, Ararita. Okay, now in the Tetragrammaton, the Father and the Mother are Yod and He. So you make that hexagram in the east. Now let's just pretend we're just doing it with the magician's wand. We're just walking through this. Father and Mother, one God, Ararita. Okay. Then we go go round to the, yeah, I'll do it over here. Let him go round to the south and make the holy hexagram and say Mater et Filius unus Deus Ararita. So Mother, Son, one God, Ararita. Now this is the earth one. So the earth hexagram, classic one, is this one. Star of David, thing like that. And Mother, Son would be He, Vav. He, Vav. Mother, Son, one God, Ararita. Everything's falling off my desk. Number 5, let him go round to the west and make the holy hexagram. And in the west, that would be air and Libra. And say Filius et Filiae, one God, Ararita, or one God, Ararita. So for the air, that's what an air hexagram looks like. And that would be son, Vav, and daughter, He final. One God, Ararvita. Then let him go round to the north and make the holy hexagram. This would be water of for the cardinal Cancer. Let him go round to the north and make the holy hexagram and say, Filiae Pater Unus Deus Ararvita. The holy hexagram of air, it would be the transcendence of opposites which occur at the union of Vav and He final. Okay, so I'll repeat that in a second. So Vav and He final. Excuse me, He final and Yod, daughter and father. So it's father, mother, mother, son, son, daughter, daughter like a snake with its tail in its mouth, daughter, father. Now, in the family court of law of the Kabbalah, incest like that is not a felony. It's Kabbalah. Okay, so what do those holy hexagrams mean? The holy hexagram of fire in the east is the transcendent of opposites. Okay, it's the joining of opposites in order to transcend them both. So it's Yod and He, and in ecstasy dissolving into oneness. Holy hexagram of fire is the transcendent of opposites, which occurs at the union of Yod and He. Then in the south, the holy hexagram of earth is the transcendent of opposites, which occur at the union of He and Vav. And in the west, the holy hexagram of air is the transcendence of opposites, which occur at the union of Vav. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to press a button there. Cancel. Of Vav and He final. And in the north, hexagram of earth, the hexagram of water for Cancer, is the transcendent of opposites, which occurs at the union of He final and Yod. So what we've got is the machinery of creation as represented as Yod He Vav He, and it's this alternating current of combinations of unions of opposites. Okay, so what are these holy hexagrams? In the east, the holy hexagram looks like that. Okay, and if we turn human bodies into a hexagram, imagine that the light one there is red, or the light one is blue, I think, yeah. Okay, that's the position where they're united together in ecstasy and dissolve into ecstasy. Fire, Aries, east, there's a universal hexagram there. Notice I've got a question mark here because I'm not trying to establish any kind of orthodoxy here. This is just Lon playing with his paper dolls. Make the holy hexagram. Father and Mother, one God, Ararvita, in the south. Capricorn in the macrocosm. That's what the hexagram of Earth looks like. That's how the triangles Mother, Son, one God, Ararita. Can you see a pattern? Can you see a step-by-step generation of energy? In the West, Libra, air, this is what the classic air hexagram looks like. And it would be a hexagram something like that at that stage of the energy arousal. And finally, the daughter and the father help start the whole process over again. And that's the hexagram of water. And that is how they would communicate the same. I bet I've confused everybody, haven't I? Let's see what Crowley has to say in his comments on chapter 36. You can see I'm very prepared. The star sapphire corresponds with the star ruby of chapter 25, 36 being the square of 6, as 25 is of 5. This chapter gives the real and perfect ritual of the hexagram. It would be improper to comment further upon an official ritual of the AA. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So Lon's already said. Okay, all in two. Here's what the Latin was. All in two. Two in one. One in nothingness. All in two. Two in one. One in nothingness. These are neither four, Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, nor all, nor two, nor one, nor nothing. Glory be to the Father, and to the Mother, and to the Son and Daughter, and to the Holy Spirit without and within, that which was and shall be, world without end. 6 in one, through the names of the 7 in one. Ararita, and there's that word Ararita, which is the initials of a Hebrew mantra, if you will, of unity. I hope you've enjoyed your trip through this. Right on my Facebook page, I posted these 4 images in color today. Right, it'll be right under this, or right above this morning talk here. And please know, these are my speculations. These aren't any official monographs or anything like this, but it's something for you to think about when you are considering what it is you will do and what it is you are doing when you even just walk through the Star Sapphire in your living room, just drawing in the air these holy hexagrams. Think about what it is you're really doing. And one of the first allegories, one of the first metaphors of how this Yod He Vav He is going up and down and up and down and down and up, this alternating current that is lighting the stars and driving existence as we know it. What it is you're actually doing when you memorize and perform rituals like the Star Sapphire. Anyway, that's it for today. Constance and I have to go to Trader Joe's. I'm sure you're interested in that. Okay, until tomorrow. And tomorrow is my father's birthday. He was born 11/11/1911 at 11-something 11th Avenue, I believe, in Los Angeles, California. A lot of 11s in his name, or in his natal circumstances. I don't know what that means. He was a wonderful person. We'll talk about this tomorrow. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself. Be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will. Ararita.